Hello there, and the warmest of all welcomes to episode 6 of season 2 of Not If But When. It is the podcast which answers all of the questions that you have ever had about all things funeral, and it also answers many of the ones which may never even have occurred to you at all. My name is Kirsty Atherton. I am an independent celebrant, and I am based in the northwest of England.
And hi there, I'm Lindsay. I'm also an independent celebrant, but I am based in Bedfordshire. So welcome to this week's episode where we are going to give you a bit of an insight into our trip to the National Funeral Exhibition, which is held every other year at Stoneleigh Park. And it's an event that we both really look forward to, isn't it, Kirsty?
We absolutely do. It's the best day out. This time we took my daughter with us, didn't we?
Yes.
To be our PA and to do lots of photographing and, behind the scenes
job,
filming.
didn't she? A great job.
She was good, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And she didn't even expect to get paid, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I like to think we paid her with the free ice cream that we didn't even have to pay for.
Yeah, and sweets. She got sweets.
She did get sweets,
Goodie
that's
bag.
true. And she got a goodie bag from Everwith Memorial Jewellery, which she was delighted with. She's got her own mug now with that, and so I think she very much feels part of the team. So that was good. She described it on socials when she posted for us as a lovely day out to the funeral theme park.
I saw that, and then someone asked where the theme park was. I think someone was really interested in it.
It was like, oh my God, I've got to go.
To us,
which, to be fair,
theme park is like the best thing ever.
That's the kind of thing that you and I would set up if we ever won like Euro Millions.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Imagine how good the ghost train would be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, maybe that needs to be on the business plan. Although we were asked there as well whether we had ever thought about being funeral directors, opening up our own funeral directors.
Yeah, we did. I mean, give us a minute. We're just like,
the answer is no.
About doing everything else.
The answer is no. We're happy with what we're doing.
Yeah. The answer is definitely no to that one. Yeah. We're going to stay in our lane-ish, aren't we? Even though the curbs of our lane are a little bit wobbly, but we'll stay in.
We like to sort of take an alternative route occasionally just for fun, but no, we're not that far off the track.
We do. Well, was it a good day out then? Was it as good this every other year as it was the every other year before?
I think it was better this year. And actually I was speaking to somebody else that went, and she sort of has been going for years and years and years and years, and she said how it used to be very much funeral director focused, as in for the male sort of funeral directors, and it's taken a completely different sort of route now, and it, for me, it was really personal. It was all about personalized elements for families, how families can sort of add that personal touch, and encouraging funeral directors to incorporate these personal touches into what they offer to families, but also a lot more welcoming, I thought, to us as celebrants, death educators, whatever else we call ourselves. I think, did you think there was more of a hi, really loved his speech, you look what I can show you, look what you can show your families, and an understanding that actually we do have such a huge connection with the families who are planning funerals, that, we are interesting people to talk to, and we can also help these businesses put their message across.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like it's interesting to know that somebody who's been going for a lot longer than we've been going feels like that, because I felt last time we went that it was very much a kind of corporate kind of business day out, that it was for people in the industry. And I felt this time, very similar to you, that kind of, it was sort of taking on more of a vibe of like, I'm going to use this as an example. It's not a very good example. A kind of ideal home exhibition type thing, where it was more appropriate for maybe, and I don't know if this is anywhere the NAFD are thinking of it going, because it's at the National Association of Funeral Directors, who are behind the exhibition. Thank God somebody is. They're doing a banging job on it. But it started to make me think, I wonder if this is something that eventually might be open to the public, might be something that, come in and see our industry and the amazing things that we're doing, and to really showcase ourselves like other industries do. Much more personalized. Yeah. I found that much more focused as well on people who were doing smaller, more niche things. And I really liked that. Because we always say, don't we, that there's something for everybody, and you couldn't have walked around there last week and not realised that.
No, absolutely not. There was just some, things that I took away from it that are not for every family, but I know that one day I will find a family that I'm working with, and it will just be there tucked away, and I'll be, oh, you'll love this. Let me show you. And I think that's what's lovely about it, and connecting with these people on social media for us now, so we can keep an eye on how they're progressing and what they're doing as a business, so we can then keep our funeral directors informed, our families informed, and and
you all, everybody out there, that I'm quite conscious of us wanting this pod to be a bit of a conduit of getting that information out to people in a slightly more friendly, maybe hopefully informal kind of way, that to see that we are very normal, we're just doing a job like anybody else, and that there are new developments all the time that people need to know about. I loved as well, when this has changed from the last 2 years from when we last went, when it was last on, that now, because you and I have so many more connections with other people across the country in the industry, it was just so lovely to, just see some of the people that we do talk to and we email and we're on the phone to, and people like Funeral Choice and Amanda at White Balloon, their services that are fairly new, really, that are providing online information about everything, not about celebrants particularly, but celebrants including. And I just thought you just can't being able to like have a hug of someone who is like supporting you and you're supporting them.
And that was so nice, wasn't it, just to be welcomed and to recognize faces as you were going around, and you were trying to remember where you recognized the faces. I think I said to you, didn't I said, oh my God, all these people are saying hello to me, and obviously we recognize each other from social media, but then you're trying to remember what they do, what their business is. But but White Balloon and Funeral Choice, two really good sort of platforms to go and have a look at, and it was lovely to catch up with them and have a chat and a hug, so that was nice. Then civil ceremonies,
yes, that's what I was just going to mention. So the other really important people that we got a chance to catch up with were the lovely Anne Barbara and Barbara from Civil Ceremonies, which is the training organisation that Lindsay and I both trained with, and and that we're currently training doing our level 4 in advanced funeral celebrancy with. So it was lovely, just to have a hug and just to see them again, because
catch up with her, and
they're so pivotal in our journey, aren't they?
Hugely. I think so it was lovely to sort of see them, and obviously we're still training with them now because we're back onto the level 4, so it was nice to just to see them in person.
It was lovely. And the AOIC gang as well, because we're both AOIC celebrants. So that's the Association of Independent Celebrants, which is a professional body that governs celebrants. It is it's optional, isn't it? Not everybody, not every celebrant is in a governing body, but God, I find it invaluable, and I know you do too. there's someone there, that we can go to for advice.
Someone there to support us, somewhere for advice, somewhere for support. They offer sort of counselling and therapy support for us, don't they, if we need it? The insurance side, obviously, where it protects us and protects our families.
Absolutely.
And the professional development as well. There are always online sort of courses and sessions for us to take part in, to make sure that we're sort of keeping up to date with what's available, and making sure that our practices are are right and as they should be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And then all the changes that happen in the industry as well. AOIC are really involved in the wedding law reform that they're looking at the moment. I know that's not a funeral-based thing, but also the changes that are going to be coming out of the situation in Hull and the lessons learned from that, or as they will be learned as we go along. So they've totally got their finger on the pulse and they're involved, aren't they, in making changes? And yeah. So it was gorgeous to catch up with folk.
Nice to catch up with all of those people, and then really nice to meet some new people.
I know.
And I'm handing the reins over to Kirsty at the beginning of this bit, so she can talk about a lady that we both absolutely fell in love with, and her work is amazing. But I know it's really, really taken a special part and place in Kirsty's heart. And come on, tell us about Lena.
Oh my God. Right. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. You know, when you meet someone and you just think, oh my God, I want to be you when I grow up. She was just, So we're talking about Lena Sass-Hughes, and she has an organization called Shrouds and Ashes. And she's an artist and former funeral celebrant, and she's doing some astonishing work. So two main things really. She makes shrouds, which using a method called, I can never say it right, cyanotype. I hope I'm saying it right. I should be able to say it right because I actually went on a workshop with the amazing Liverpool artist Marion McGurk, who does a lot of work around death and dying. I actually went on her workshop to do this a little while ago, and it was fabulous. So basically, it's a way of using light and different forms of paper and things like that. Basically, you have this special paper that's prepped in advance and you put objects on it. And when it's exposed to light and then immersed in water, the bits that the light has hit go this amazing, beautiful dark blue color. And the bits that have been covered by the whatever you covered it with. So I made one in honor of my dad, and it's got his pipe on it and his glasses. And then it's got little fern leaves to represent me and my siblings. I actually will send a photograph of it so that we could put that up, wouldn't we? Because I don't know if I'm describing it brilliantly. But anyway, so Lena makes her shrouds using that method, and she consults with people to either support them in making it themselves with her because obviously she has all the equipment, or she can talk to you and see what design that you want, and then she can put that into the artwork. The other astonishing thing that she did, which I to be honest, Linda, I've not got over. I can't stop thinking about this. Now, I'm going to get the science wrong, aren't I? Because it's me. So basically, with a little tiny pinch of human ashes, she makes these astonishing pictures. And it's like a soil analysis is how she explained it, wasn't it? And basically, as the ashes react, as they're put onto the paper, they sort of expand and they look like a cross section of a trunk, which I thought, as a proper tree geek, I thought, oh my God, well, there you go. There's the serendipity.
I absolutely loved them. I thought they were amazing.
Stunning. They're stunning. So that's where the ashes bit of Shrouds and Ashes come in. So I am hoping to meet up with Lena again to potentially look at doing some work with her. And yeah, she absolutely stole my heart. She was so inspiring, and somebody who's just thinking, how can we make all this part of our everyday? How can we keep these people with us and make these things matter? And massive props to her. So she was a huge highlight for both of us. And I could not stop talking to her. I could still be talking to her now. I'm sure she would be very bored.
She had a huge warmth about her, didn't she? Real warmth. It was just sort of just radiated this warmth around her that you just felt. It was she was a lovely lady.
And I find that a lot, in our industry. I know that there are, this isn't a blanket statement, that's true of everyone, but I find the people in our industry who are trying to do the kinds of things that we are trying to do have that about them. You just want to know them, you just want to be around them and kind of be in their orbits, don't you? Next door to Lena was something else that absolutely knocked our socks off. Linz. you want to lead on this one?
Yeah, I'd love to. It
Sockless you
was
were.
the Memorial Cube, which when we first looked at it, they had a sort of what would you it wasn't it was a copy of one, wasn't it, just for marketing purposes there.
It was, yeah,
And
like a
we weren't
model.
really sure what it was. All we saw is this sort of cube structure, looked like it was concrete or steel, and these balls basically, and that and that's what we looked at. We were really puzzled, and we spoke to these guys that were part of the Memorial Cube initiative, who are based in the Netherlands. And basically, Memorial Cube is what they are calling an environmentally friendly columbarium. Columbarium is a structure designed to hold ashes, urns of ashes. And it's basically an option to store your loved one's ashes in spherical urns, which can be personalized, which can be off the shelf. They've got lots of different designs. They can even have pictures, drawings put on them that you have done yourself.
It's like the size of a football, isn't it? Like a
It,
netball.
yeah,
Yeah,
like a netball, I would say. It was,
yeah.
yeah. I think I've just put a photo up actually of me holding one of them.
Oh, fab.
But I will put some things on the website as well, on the Not If But When website with Lena as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. And basically you've got an app attached to it. And on that app, you can book a place in one of these memorial cubes. You can then choose what urn you would like. You arrange to then go and collect that urn from either your crematorium, your funeral director, or another supplier. And then you book a time on the app for when you will visit the memorial cube and have either your sort of service for like an interment of ashes service, or your own private sort of service just between you as a family. And then you place the urn into the memorial cube. But what's amazing about it is that it doesn't have to stay there. You can come and visit whenever you want, and you can actually take the urn out whenever you want. So you can sit and hold your loved one's ashes in their urn. You can spend time with them, and then you can pop them back in whenever you want. I think obviously it's dependent on the opening times of where it's actually held. And what was even more special is that a memorial page on the app is available, where you can upload videos, audio messages. And the very last thing they told us about, wasn't it, Kirsty, was that actually you can plan this yourself. So you can book this space in the memorial cube as part of your funeral wishes, which we talk about a lot. Speak to us about our F word. We'd be happy to tell you lots about what you can do. And on that app, you can record messages for your loved ones that when they come and visit in the future and they walk up to the memorial cube on a specific date at a specific time, you can organise for a message to be played via the app to them, which I think is just really, really special. So even after you've died, you can still be giving messages of love to your family and to your friends on special dates, anniversaries. So I thought that was really special.
Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
The good thing about the NFE as well, I always think, is that it is properly international. There are people from
yeah,
everywhere who go to it. There are people who come from all over the world to visit it.
yeah,
And so it's really interesting. You know, we do have a little bit of a different perspective on things here. They basically are installing these. I think the first one was in Maastricht, wasn't it?
yeah.
They're installing them in the Netherlands, in Germany, in Norway. And they were telling us, which I didn't know, even though we're proper funeral geeks. Don't know if you knew this in advance, Linz, about you not being able to store ashes anywhere else other than in like a designated place
Yeah.
in some of the European countries, which was interesting.
Can't just take
Whereas,
them home with you, can you? You can't take them
can't
home,
put them in the
put them
cupboard
in your
under the
garden,
stairs.
scatter them.
No,
Yeah.
that they've got to be stored somewhere. So, and that's inspired this wonderful idea. And we were just enthralled, weren't we, by them? They just were, it was such an innovative idea.
Yeah.
You know, there needs to be a future where we embrace technology. Even I'm saying it, embrace technology, where we embrace technology and we help our industry move forward and be what people need it to be.
Yeah.
And the thought of that, I mean, when the thing that really, really moved me is they've got some videos of the ones that they've got set up. Absolutely beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it had been placed into almost a kind of square, wasn't it? Like a kind of cleared square with seating in it, so you could sit around the memorial cube, which is a beautiful thing to look at anyway. So you could sit around, and then you could open using your code or your app or whatever. You could open and like a vending machine, as Lindsay pointed out when I was getting excited about it being like a TARDIS. She was like, well, it's like a vending machine, mate, isn't it, really? Oh, yeah, it is, yeah. So whereas like a vending machine, they would know who is your person and they would come out to you. And I loved that idea that you could sit on that bench and you could just hold that sphere in your arms and just have a sit and have a minute with your person. But the thought that, so I bang on about this every episode. I make no apologies for it. I nearly said I make no apologies for it. Sorry, everyone. I make no apologies for it. I'm always banging on about having lost my dad as a child, and the thought that I could have gone somewhere on my 18th or on my 21st or on the day that I found out that I was pregnant or the day that I got married, and had a little message from him telling me something.
It's just like,
oh my God, it's just absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how he would have felt about it. Bobby said, oh, I don't know what to say, love. But that's not the point.
No. So, yeah. Lovely. So, and they were talking about, weren't they, about having sort of themed cubes in the future where football grounds could actually place one of these memorial cubes on their site somewhere, and fans could then have I suppose they would be like football spherical, like football urns, and they would be placed inside the memorial cube, actually at your favorite football ground,
at the stadium. I thought that was amazing because that really, really matters to people, doesn't it? And really, I know there's the odd the odd football club who will still let people scatter ashes at the side of the pitch, but the vast majority of them don't now. And that would be a lovely way of somebody connecting permanently forever and ever with their club, particularly for those people who supported a particular club is a real family tradition. It's like running through their veins. I did think that was amazing. So we're hoping that somebody with, I don't know how much money they cost because we didn't ask, because I think it's more than we've got. So I'm hoping that somebody who has got the money is going to take the plunge. There is not one in the UK at the moment, but there bloody needs to be because they're amazing. So big up the lads at Memorial Cube. They are doing a stand-up job.
Okay, and then what next? What did we see that we enjoyed or liked?
Well, we particularly love Hand in Their Heart, don't we? And I have met them previously at the Association of Green Funeral Directors Awards a couple of years ago. And they, like lots of little funeral businesses, have got their own personal story and their own motivation, their own pain for going into doing this. And basically what she makes is bereavement keepsakes, I guess you'd call them, wouldn't you? And they have little pop-out hearts in them so that your loved one can have the little pop-out heart with them and you can have the other piece. And there's all sorts of I feel conscious about describing it because I'm not sure I can describe it to do it justice, because it's beautiful stuff as well, isn't it? It's it's really gorgeous to look at. Lots of it is wooden, lots of it is made out of metal.
They had jewelry, didn't they? And as well, and so it's the Heart in Their Hand project if you want to look them up. They're on Instagram and I'm sure they're on Facebook as well, and we will put a link. But it's sort of their bereavement keepsakes that enable you to place a small heart, part of the keepsake, with your loved one, and then you take the rest of the keepsake away with you, knowing that piece that's missing is with your loved one, and was originally designed for babies and children, but they've now got a lot more, haven't they? So
and that was her motivation. You described that so much better than I did. Thanks, Lind. That was her motivation, wasn't it? As as a person who'd been through that kind of experience, and originally her motivation was to provide those to parents of children in hospice, and it's expanded from there, and it's really beautiful. She's doing such a good job. It's such beautiful, high quality stuff, and it's stuff that you can absolutely tell she's putting heart into. So yeah, big up there. Amazing.
Yeah, so
Lots
hopefully
of
we'll get
people we're hoping to interview, aren't we?
yes, that's it. Hopefully we'll have a chat with her on an interview and find out more about her story, and
Yeah.
you know, she can chat to us about why she started it. It's a really personal, heartbreaking story.
Yeah,
Really is.
absolutely. And it's a really lovely thing to remind ourselves of, isn't it? That you know, there are heartbreaks in our lives that we're not ever going to get over, that we're going to live with for the rest of our lives, but that there are ways in which to find a legacy from that can help others, can heal others, can heal ourselves, you know. And I think she's actually a really beautiful example of that.
Definitely.
Yeah, proud to have met her. Yeah, lovely. Okay,
Right.
life art. I'm saying life art.
Life art. Yeah. If anyone
like...
has seen, if anyone is on my Instagram page, you might have seen a really enthusiastic and energetic post from the NFE of myself with Kirsty. And we were at the life art stand. So amazing,
Yeah.
sort of cost effective coffins made from not cardboard, which is what we call
Nope.
and I didn't really know I couldn't remember how to describe them, but I sort of put down a honeycomb structure of recycled wood and cardboard. Did you get a better? You tell me what you remember.
Well, we do know very much that the lovely man we spoke to at Life Art will be able to, is very enthusiastic to come and talk to us. Thank God, because we won't do him justice with our explanation. Essentially, he was saying that it isn't cardboard, it's actually timber, and it's kind of waste product timber, isn't it? So things, you know, it's like it's fallen branches that are used for it, or it's the tops of fir trees that have to be culled for a particular reason. So it's all absolutely sustainable. Mm-hmm. It's materials that would be going to waste otherwise, but it's not recycled material, if that makes sense. And oh my God, we couldn't believe it, could we? We thought that they were cardboard. We used the cardboard word, and he was on us.
He corrected.
Are not cardboard, madam. And he's absolutely right, they weren't.
And
and good for him, because he's proud of it.
Yeah, too right. And it was just they all had images on them. They didn't all. You can have plain ones. You can have ones that look, I suppose, almost like they've been laminated or that they're veneered wood, but they obviously weren't. And you could have amazing photos, images, stock images, but also your own image put onto them. Which similar to, you know, coffins you can already get, but what was amazing is that they are eco-friendly. They were very, very light but extremely strong, load-bearing handles, which a lot of the cheaper wood veneered coffins, the handles are not load-bearing.
No.
So but these were load-bearing handles, but very light, very reasonable. I think, was it about 225?
Yeah, it was, which is astonishing for a coffin. That's really, and also they were gorgeous. They were gorgeous. And if you are leaning towards making greener choices, interestingly, a lot of people mentioned to us at the NFE that they are starting to see very clearly that having greener choices, that having eco options of stuff, are things that people are now expecting when they go in. They are expecting to get those options, which is a really massively positive change. That was exciting to hear so many people talk about. These are a really good option from that point of view. Transportation of them, because they are so light, obviously has a much lower impact. And they were so unbelievably strong, and you literally could have lifted it up with you know, one hand. They're so light, but super strong. And we were having a bit of a chat with him, really, weren't we, about how people's concerns about these are not cardboard, but people's concern about cardboard, that, you know, whoa, well, what if it starts raining? And, you know, there really is nothing to worry about. We had something delivered to our garden not long ago, and we actually left the cardboard packaging in the garden, waiting for a dry day when we were going to take it to the tip because it had dried out. I actually tipped a puddle out of it the other day because it hasn't really been a dry day, and it was still intact. So a little tiny bit of drizzle on the top of a cardboard coffin on the way into a chapel or a venue is absolutely nothing to worry about. No. So that was particularly inspiring, like
Yeah.
that.
And all the
Mm-hmm.
inks they use, did we mention that all the inks they use,
Oh, we
everything
didn't.
is eco-friendly? And if you're having a natural burial, there's just one part of the lining of it that they would remove. So if you told them you were having a natural burial, green burial,
Yeah,
then that could be removed, and then it's all completely safe for that as well.
that's right, isn't it? Yeah, and the only
Yeah.
thing that he mentioned was PVA, but the type of PVA that they used, it's absolutely fine with
Starch base, wasn't it?
starch-based. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, cool. God, it's all coming back to us now, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
know, my
So
memory's
that's
like
really
impressing me today.
I know. It's the first time for everything, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, there
Look
is.
at us. Yeah. Now, couple of other brief mentions.
Yeah. Shall we mention, so Widowed and Young, a
Yeah.
charity, which I share some posts from occasionally on social media,
Yeah.
a charity well worth going and having a look at. They are
Yeah.
a charity set up to support women who have been widowed under the age, I believe it's 55.
I think it's 51.
51, right,
I
thank
think
you.
it's 51.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
and they have lots of groups nationally where you
Yeah.
can meet with like-minded people that have been through the same as you or similar experiences, people that know how that might feel, and you can just
Yeah.
socialize with them, support one another, and they offer practical support and guidance as well online. But
Yeah.
it is also a membership that if you do want to become a member, you can then get involved in the sort of community activities and groups that they run as well.
Yeah. It was really interesting talking to them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think as well, I think the big thing to take away from it is it's an opportunity for women who are in that situation to find new connections with other people and not
Yeah.
have to explain anything.
Yeah.
You know, I know that you and I both are close to particularly two particular people I can think of who are young widows,
Mm.
and that is a big thing for them. It's almost like there's a clock ticking over their heads, and people who knew them before they were widowed
Yeah.
are waiting for the clock to run out so they could just stop talking about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
having connections through Young and Widowed is, those people aren't expecting you to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
They get it.
Yeah.
So
I saw a lovely
big up
post
to them.
actually. I think someone had put, I don't know how you are feeling, but I know how it feels. And I thought that was
Yes.
really lovely.
Nice.
And I think that's just, yeah. So
Yeah.
everyone's journey is different, but just having a group
Yeah.
of people like that, they know how it feels to be
Yeah.
widowed, to lose their partner sort of so young. And although every individual journey is different, you can come together and you get it. And I think that's what's really important.
I think that's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, then that's a really perfect way of putting it. Yeah, beautiful. And to carry on the personal note, we were sent with a little mission, weren't we?
Yeah,
So,
going out on this podcast with a bang, I think we can say, with
ooh,
our
look at
final
you
one.
and your puns.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
lovely.
Go on,
Yeah,
you chatted to this
yeah.
guy a lot, didn't you? So, yeah.
Yeah, one of the so one of the things that it was lovely to see our trainer, because she knew that Linz and I were in touch, but she didn't really know how closely we work together now. And we have her to thank for meeting one another, because we happen to be on the same training course residential together, as was our mutual best friend, who we adore, and who is currently having to really very seriously and not imminently, but seriously look at her end of life options.
Yeah.
And we adore her. And so she sent us with a mission, because she would very much like to share her ashes out between people who she loves, so that we are all, I'm saying we, it better include us, or there will be trouble. No.
Although I won't tell her that I'm afraid of fireworks. Don't tell her that.
Oh no, I'll have yours.
I'll have a mini one. No, I'd love it. I'd love it. I'd embrace it.
She'd very much like to have her ashes put into fireworks that she can then give out to people that she loves, and that they can set those fireworks off at moments that are important in their lives, and that she will be a part of those occasions, which she'll be a part of those occasions anyway, because she is in our hearts, and apart from anything else, slightly tattooed on my body as well. That's a whole other podcast episode. So we had a good chat with one of the companies that does memorial fireworks. And that was quite interesting. It's a whole industry in itself, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was interested to see that it's that they are predominantly firework companies with a kind of memorial branch rather than actual memorial firework companies, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And also interesting to see that, because I always have to look how much the most expensive thing is, just because I'm interested.
Yeah.
And I have paid less money for a car
Yes.
than the real bang fireworks you can get.
Yeah, there were a few gulps when we saw the prices, and I think I did suggest sort of some sort of makeshift thing, maybe with. I was thinking the other day, empty sherbet dip wrappers. You know, the tubes, you could fill them up and you could attach them to a rocket. But if you're listening, you lovely firework companies, I know it's an amazing profession.
We are only joking.
And I know I'm not actually, but yeah, we're joking. But no, they had some amazing packages, and you could have professional firework.
Oh, you can set to music and all sorts. Yeah, which is phenomenal. That's absolutely. Some people, that is their like ultimate dream. They love fireworks. They'd go out of the way to do that. And that. So again, it's just something for everybody, isn't it? I think one thing you were saying though, Linz, which I thought was really interesting, is that there will be like local organisations, local companies who do manufacture fireworks. And having chatted to him, it seems like it's fairly straightforward. Basically, you are just manufacturing a firework and then adding some of the ashes into that. So that was an interesting one, and we shall be updating her next time we are sat over lunch in a pub, which hopefully will be very soon.
Yeah. We always have these conversations when we go out for lunch, don't we? The poor people in the pub near us are probably wondering what on earth we're talking about.
It's surprised we're not barred, isn't it, really?
I know.
Forever doing it. Although I know a lovely lady that I met through business networking, and she texted me the other day. I don't even know her that well, but she sent me a WhatsApp the other day to say, just wanted you to know how much you've inspired me. I've had all of the 8 people who have been sat in the hairdressers while I've been getting my roots done talking about death and dying.
Amazing.
I was like, yes. Amazing. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So,
that's what it's about.
We carry on trying to infect the whole wide world with it.
Indeed.
Yeah. So that was the NFE, banging day out.
The NFE. I got another stress coffin. I don't know. What do we call it? When it's a stress ball, not in the shape of a ball, but in the shape of a coffin. I'm presuming we just call it a stress coffin.
It's got to be just a stress coffin, hasn't it?
Anyway, I got
very
my
nice
coffin, but my youngest took that from me very quickly. So I lost that, as did the everlasting pencil. I have to tag that company in that gave us that, because I can't remember.
Oh, they're gorgeous, aren't they? Yeah. I have put a lot of my goodies from this year to one side, because when I do some of my F-wordy trainee type stuff, obviously I have a quiz. Because why would you not? And I'm always thinking, God, I should have some prizes for this. So you never know who's going to get a stress coffin for being able to guess the top 10 funeral songs from last year. Next time I'm out and about in the community training. So all good.
Yeah.
So it's been a lovely one. It was a belting day out. I highly recommend it. NAFD and NFE, if you are listening, please can we do this every year, because we loved it and it's marvellous. And I'm sure there's loads of other organisations who'd love to be involved in it. Really good job all. We really, really enjoyed it. So it's been lovely to share that with you. We are, as Lindsay says, going to attach and upload and just magically stick on, however she does it with her alchemy, some images and links and all of that shebang that she does, because she's awesome. So that you can have some visuals to go along with our ramblings. Next week, what are we discussing next week? Next week we've got our guest. We've got our first guest, haven't we?
We have.
Very, very exciting. We are going to be playing for you a little interview that I did with a local independent funeral director, and it's a really nice little listen, actually. So we will be incorporating that into our next episode, which of course will be out on Fridays, like they always are. how can you listen to us, Lindsay? If you want to listen to us, how can you do that?
You can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, and you can listen to us on YouTube. You can go to our website, notifbutwhenpodcast.co.uk, and you will find links to all of those on there, as well as lots of information about Kirsty and myself, the podcast, how we met, and lots of other things that you might like to find out about us. So go and have a look and find those links.
Absolutely do. And follow us on socials. So I am Kirsty Celebrant and she is Lindsay Celebrant. And if you follow us on socials, if there's something that you would like us to talk about, drop us a message, let us know, send us an email, do whatever, all of that magical stuff. You can also probably listen to us if you're even remotely in the vicinity of either of our houses, because we're constantly talking to each other and I don't think we're that quiet.
No, we're not. We're not. So, but yeah, until next week, I think that is us. So until you listen to next week's, why not go out, embrace your one wild and precious life by also embracing the inevitable.
Why not?
Bye for now.
Bye.